Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to another lesson of virtual class grade 4 mathematics, and today we are going to do another important part of handling data, which is called pictogram. Pictogram is a chart that uses pictures to represent the data. If you remember, in our previous lesson we discussed about different types of the data like bar charts, tally tables. In that, we were not using the picture. Instead of that, we were using tally, or we were using numbers to represent the data. But the idea of pictogram is a really interesting idea. In the pictogram, we use pictures for the data. Like here on the side of the pictograph, you can see there is a pictogram. We also call it pictograph. There are other names for the pictogram like icon chart, picture chart, and some other names. Sometimes you will also see pictograph as well. So you can see here on the side of the window screen a pictograph. This is a pictograph. Here you can see that pictures are used to elaborate the data or to give the information to the reader or to the viewer. So this is the main difference between a pictograph and a bar chart. So in this lesson we are going to learn in detail how we will make the pictograph and how a pictograph will work. Now the question is when to use a pictograph. So pictograph, you can use a pictograph or pictogram whenever you want to make a simple data more visually interesting, more memorable, or more engaging. Of course, instead of numbers, when we use the pictures, the data become more interesting and more visible and more clear to the students. So it looks really interesting as well, and also it becomes more memorable. It is easy to memorize or keep a picture in mind instead of number. The effect of picture is long lasting as compared to the number. So let's learn how we will read a pictograph and what are certain rules for the pictograph or pictogram. Before starting a pictogram, there are certain rules that you can see here written on the screen. That a pictogram will must include a title, symbols, and key for the symbol. For example, on the screen there is a pictograph shown here, and you can see in this pictograph that books are used to represent the data. And so I will say that the symbol that has been used are the books. Okay, and what is key for the symbol? Here at the bottom you can see this is the key for the symbol, that each book means if we will see one book in the data, so one book will be equal to two books. Mean this picture, if you will see anywhere, it means that is going to be equal to two books. So if a half book will be shown, so it means it will be equal to one book. Like here in this data you can see that then the number of pictures shown for the zane are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 books. So each book is showing 2. So 9 times 2 is going to be 18. And for Seth, you can see there are 2. So we can say the total number of the books that reading competition results actually was announced in that. So there are 2 times 2, 4 books are there. For Darren, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 pictures. So I can say 3 into 2 is equal to 6 books. So total books are 6. Total books will be equal to 12 because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is going to be 6 times 2. 6 times 2. So total number are 12. For Yoshi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 times 2, the total numbers are 16. For Josh, 1, 2. So each one is representing a 2, so it is going to be 2 times 2. For heli, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the total pictures are 6. So total number of books are going to be 6 times 2, because each one is representing a 2, so are going to be 12. So how many books did the children read all together? It means we need to add all of these numbers there. So let's add all of these and get the results. So total number of books when we will add will be equal to 66. So here I can say all the children read all together 66. Now here in this diagram you can see another pictograph with another symbol shown here, and this time if we will have one shoe, so one shoe will represent the 2 laps by that particular person. So here this pictograph is actually showing running laps. So this is the title. Actually the title is showing the running laps, and here is the key. Each shoe is equal to 2 laps. So it means if we have to count the running laps for any person, we will count the number of shoes and will multiply it with 2, because each shoe is equal to 2 laps. Like here I have a second question on the side of the screen. You can see how many running laps does Marshall have. So if I have to count the running laps for Marshall, so I will see how many pictures are in the column of in the row of Marshall. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total are 8 pictures, and here the key of the photograph is saying that each picture will represent 2 laps. So we have 8 times 2, that is going to be 16. So I will say the running laps that Marshall did are 16, going to be 16. For Austin, if I have to count for the Austin, I can again count the number of the shoes and multiply with 2. Second question is saying how many more running laps does Austin have than the William? I mean, we have to do a comparison between the running laps of Austin and William. So if I count for the Austin, the number of pictures shown for the Austin are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again 8 times 2 is going to be 16. So the running laps for Austin are 16, and I have to compare it with William. So for William I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 times 2 in 12 laps are for the William. So it means Austin is taking more laps than William. So the difference between them we have to tell that how many Austin is having more than William. So that is going to be 16 minus 12. Answer will be 4. And then what are total number of running laps for Perry and Caleb only? I mean, we don't have to take the total of all, but only for these two persons, Perry and Caleb. So let's take that. How many are for the Perry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So each picture is representing 2 laps, so 7 times 2 is going to be 14. And for Caleb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 2 is going to be 14. So total number for Perry and Caleb are 14 plus 14. That is going to be 28. Now here I have another pictograph. You can see in the picture that choice of favorite color by 100 students were asked, and depending on their answers, the data was shown in the form of a tally, in the form of a pictograph, and the pictograph is drawn here. It is shown here. So we have to elaborate this pictograph. So very first thing, whenever you look at a pictograph, you have to look for the key, and here is the key for this pictograph. The key is showing that each smiley sign stands for 4 students. I mean, if you will see one smiley, so it will stand for 4. Like if I have one smiley here, so one smiley is equal to 4. So it means if I will have a half smiley somehow will look like this. So half smiley, it means will be equal to 2. And if we will have the quarter smiley only, even half, then half of half, so that is going to be 1. So this key was given here, so we elaborated it according to the pictograph, so wherever we will be in need, we can use it. So let's look at the questions now here. How many students do like yellow color? So here we have the yellow color. There are the two pictures for the yellow, and we know that each picture is representing 4 students. So it means we have here 2 times 4. 2 pictures and each picture for 4. So total numbers are 8. So I can say 8 students, 8 students like or choose the yellow as their favorite color. The second question is saying how many students have orange as their favorite color. So here is the orange, and if we look at the orange, 1, 2. 2 complete and 1 quarter. 2 complete will make 4 and 1 quarter. Here we already have decided that 1 quarter will be on the basis of this key. 1 quarter is going to be equal to 1. So 4 plus 1 total are going to be 5. So 5 students, uh, sorry, uh, 1 student is equal to 4. So if 1 student is equal to 4, so here are going to be 4 and 4, 8, 8 and 1, 9. So we will have the 9 students who choose their favorite color as orange. So I can say 9 students. And then about how many students have brown and red as their favorite color. So if we will say brown and red, so here is the red one first. I will say for the red, the total number of the picture are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 4. So for red, if I will say, red is going to be 7 times 4. 28 students have red their favorite. And brown, here we have brown, 1 and half. So it means I can say 4 plus 2, 6. So 6 students have brown as their favorite. 6 students have brown. So if we have to add them, then total 34 will have the altogether. So this is how we will read a pictograph. Another name for the pictograph is a pictogram. And while you will be studying a pictograph or pictogram, key is very important. You must have to look at the key. Key will let you decide and count. So an interesting lesson that we have taken. Inshallah, in our next class, we will come here with another interesting lesson. An extension of the pictograph will be taken inshallah. So see you in the next lesson. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.